English teacher told me this story to me about her experience in Oman. So I'm telling you her story. We will call this teacher Mrs. Jane. Mrs. Jane had gone to Oman looking for a job in a school. She did get one and was sent to southern Oman in a minivan with a bunch of other teachers. It was getting dark and it was still a long way to go. So they stopped at a hotel. While Mrs. Jane was eating and talking to other teachers, this one teacher was looking at her all the time. Mrs. Jane knew that teacher as they were in the same van. So she thought the lady wanted to talk to her. Before she could go to her, the lady was gone to the bathroom. When everyone was going to sleep in one big room on bunk beds. The lady, whose name we will call Mrs. Luna, asked Mrs. Jane whether she, Mrs. Luna, could sleep on the top bunk. Mrs. Jane, without hesitation, said yes. At the middle of the night, Mrs. Jane woke up to the noise of a lady moaning slowly. Mrs. Jane got terrified to even move. Then she saw a weird sight. In front of her, she could see dangling legs. Then she realized that the legs were of Mrs. Luna. Actually, what happened was that Mrs. Luna was sitting on her bed with her legs dangling down and moaning softly but harshly. When Mrs. Jane got the guts to look up, she saw Mrs. Luna's eyes were wide open and were not moving. Terrified seeing that, Mrs. Jane just got in her bed and went to sleep somehow. The next morning, when Mrs. Jane got up, she asked Mrs. Luna what happened to her last night. But Mrs. Luna said that she don't know what happened at all and that she was sleeping soundly. After that, Mrs. Jane never saw Mrs. Luna again, as they were in the different school. Mrs. Jane knew it was not a dream because another friend of her had been in the same school as Mrs. Luna and had experienced the same incident. Mrs. Jane was saying to us that she don't know if it was a spirit inside her or a demon had taken over Mrs. Luna. Even I am confused. When I was at high school, in year 10, my drama teacher told me and my fairly small class that she had seen a ghost. The drama studio had a balcony, which used to be used to watch small drama production, but it was just used as a storage space when I was there. Apparently, he wore Victorian attire and sat on one of the seats up there. She noticed him briefly and shouted at him to get down, thinking it was a student. Her colleague asked who was up there, which diverted her attention, and when she looked back, he was gone. It became a running joke in my class, although I was scared of it. I always sat with my back to the balcony and never dare look up there. Would always prank me, saying they could see him and then laugh at my look of terror. It got boring after a while, and we all either forgot or assumed she was making it up. The only remnant of the story was the bin with the face the boy drew on it. I started staying late after school to go to homework club. I would leave around 4. My route was usually done so that I would exit through doors of English corridor in hope that I would find my favorite teacher and get to talk to her. On this day, she wasn't in, so I decided to go the quicker way. As I was walking down the computer corridor, I heard a conversation between head of year and my drama teacher. I stopped and listened because I imagined it might be about this boy who would walk out of drama class early that day. It wasn't. My drama teacher said that someone had been messing around with the entrance of storage cupboard, which also led to the balcony. The head of year said that the camera shows a door opening by itself. After a few seconds, I assumed they were looking at the camera. My drama teacher said, but I heard someone rummaging around up there. I felt so scared, like paralyzed on the spot. But I moved past the office anyway and turned to go down the corridor. As I moved past the drama studio, I turned my head away in case I saw anything. The next day in drama, the teacher told us what had happened with the door and the storage cupboard. There was more than I've eavesdropped on. She had heard the rusting and moving of items up there, and her colleague had heard it too. They also heard 2 male voices. They went to check but found no one. They asked to see the camera so she could catch whoever did it. That's what I heard the previous evening. She asked to see the camera so she could catch whoever did it. That's what I heard the previous evening. She still had her keys, as did her colleagues, and it was unlocked from the inside. We were told to go up there to get some props. We all piled in the entrance of the stair, and no one wanted to be first up there. One of the boys eventually put one foot on the first step. That's when a drama teacher yelled up to the balcony, "You shouldn't be trying on the costumes. Take it off. You shouldn't be trying on the costumes. Take it off." You had never seen 14 years old moved out of the room so fast in all your life. The teacher came out of the studio looking quite pale and told us she had seen the ghost. She thought it was one of us at first, but then he disappeared. She left after that, and we moved rooms for drama.